Imagine a long, long time ago. China was a beautiful land with big rivers and lots of farms, but then something terrible happened. The rivers overflowed. The water went everywhere, covering everything. This was the Great Flood, a huge disaster that covered the land. People ran to the hills asking their gods for help. For many years, the flood continued, turning farms into dangerous swamps. Houses and villages were washed away, leaving only sadness behind. It looked like the people of China might not survive. But even though things were awful, people still had hope. Stories from this time tell us about brave people who never gave up. They helped each other live in this scary, watery world. They built rafts to float on the water and learned to fish and grow food in the flood. They didn't know it yet, but someone was coming to save them. During this difficult time, a great leader appeared. His name was Yu, and he became known as Yu the Great. Yu was special. He was very wise, strong, and cared about his people. The stories say that Yu was chosen by the gods to stop the flood. A magic horse with dragon scales appeared, and its footprints showed where to dig canals. Yu knew what to do. He brought everyone together and told them they could do it. They all worked together on a giant project that took 13 long years. Yu was very smart. He found new ways to control the water. Slowly, the flood started to go down, and people felt hope again. When the flood was gone, a new time began in China. Because Yu saved everyone, he became the ruler. This was the start of the Xia Dynasty, the first kings of China. The Xia Dynasty, a long time ago, is thought to have lived near the Yellow River. The people, led by Yu and the rulers who came after him, enjoyed peace. They built villages near the rivers and grew food on the good land. The Xia people were good farmers. They grew rice and millet, the food they ate the most. They also raised animals like pigs and sheep, so they always had food. This time also brought new inventions, like how to make things from bronze and how to write. The Xia Dynasty started everything that made China great for a very long time. The Xia Dynasty, like everything, had good times and bad times. After Yu the Great, other rulers came, each one doing things their own way. Some rulers were kind and good, making the dynasty stronger. They made the kingdom bigger, built ways to water the farms, and helped everyone get along. But after a while, things started to change. The rulers started to think only about themselves. They forgot what Yu the Great taught them. The last Xia king, King Jie, was the worst. King Jie was mean and unfair. He took lots of money from the people and used it to buy himself fancy things. The Xia dynasty, once strong and happy, was about to fall apart. The Xia dynasty, even though it was so long ago, is super important to China. It's the first dynasty in their history books, the start of their kings and emperors. For a long time, people thought the Xia dynasty was just a story. But then people digging in the ground in the 1900s, especially at a place called Erlitou, found things that showed a great civilization lived back then. They found big palaces, workshops, and fancy bronze objects. These things showed that the Xia people were very advanced. Some people still argue about it, but it seems like the Xia dynasty was real. The Xia dynasty, whether it's completely true or just a story, is important to Chinese culture. The story of Yu the Great, the hero who stopped the flood, still inspires people today. He shows us how important it is to be a good leader, never give up, and take care of the earth. The Xia dynasty is the beginning of Chinese civilization, their culture, and the strong spirit of the Chinese people.